All right. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me today. I'm going to be talking about my trip that I took to Cairo in celebration of my 50th. This was April 24th, 2023. I left Atlanta, Georgia to London to Cairo and the same way back, Cairo to London and London to Atlanta. And it was about a 5 day excursion. So the pictures that you're gonna be seeing are gonna be pictures of outside and inside the pyramids. Inside two of the pyramids. The third pyramid was shut down. We weren't able to go in there. And a lot of the different passageways in the pyramids that we did go in were also closed. So I was able to explore in each pyramid that I was allowed in one of the pathways for each pyramid, basically ending up in a tomb, a queen's chamber of some sort, where they had the sarcophagus, which is basically the cement tomb or casket, in this open room. So I'll show you how the route that I took to get there, also how narrow the passageways are, and basically inside the pyramid and outside the pyramid. That's the Great Pyramid, the one with the cap on it, and also the second pyramid next to it. Did a camel ride, that was interesting. Like I said, museums where the artifacts were. The Egyptian Museum, which was located in New Cairo. Also went to the Coptic Church and their museum here in Old Cairo. And that was the first church in Egypt. And across the street is the first mosque in Egypt. And the mosque is over 800 years old. The same building that's standing there. So I don't unfortunately have pictures of that mosque, but I do have pictures of the church. And what was inside the church to me was extraordinary. All the pictures of Black Jesus, all the pictures of the Ankh, which I'm sure was being represented as some type of crucifix. But being that it was in Egypt and it's shaped like the Ankh, I'm just curious to know what the relationship really is, you understand? Because in the Egyptian Museum, you couldn't find an Ankh. I walked all the way through the Egyptian Museum and I did not find an artifact of an Ankh. It showed on different carvings and tablets, the Ankh, or some gods holding the Ankh, which is considered to be a key of life. But as an artifact, meaning that it is some type of Ankh had been discovered, that somebody formed or shaped in some way, whether it was metal or wood or whatever, you don't see it. And that's interesting to me because I know this generation, if it were to be unburied 3,000, 5,000 years later, you're gonna find all sorts of crucifixes and Ankhs because people wear them around their neck now. Real metal, real gold, real silver. But none of that was in the Egyptian artifact. So that, to me, was pretty interesting. At any rate, I chartered a boat, dove out into the Red Sea. I walked the neighborhoods. I ate good food. I seen a lot within those 4 days of being on the ground in Egypt, and I enjoyed it. So I hope you enjoy the pictures and the videos. I have a little bit of music playing in the background. I'll pan it down every now and then so I could describe what was going on the picture. But enough said. Let's get to it. Let's enjoy these photos and the video. So this is me in the sky, headed towards London. I took a picture of this cloud because it was interesting. It looked like a saucer shape type cloud. So as we were going over it, You know, I kept taking pictures of it, seeing if it was gonna start up and drive away or something. But anyway, yeah, this is above the sky headed towards London. Also have a picture coming into Cairo, and this is it right here. This is gonna be a poster you'll see in my house once I get my next home. This is the city of Cairo, flying into it that night once I left London. Basically, you see the sign that says "Welcome to Cairo" in Arabic. That's when I touched down. So the next clip, I'm not gonna say anything until after the video because the background noise is too loud. So just listen. You may catch somebody saying something, who knows. You're gonna hear me breathing heavy because it's hot, humid, and I had no idea I was getting into a mini workout. So here it is. Yeah, so I had to basically duck down for about 150, 200 feet. And then when I got to a certain point, then I had to do a bear crawl. This lady in front of me crawling on her hands and knees, but I got down to a bear crawl because the passageway got smaller and more narrower. And that's the only way to get through. So that's what you're seeing right there. Oh, shit. So yeah, everything was a narrow tunnel until it got to that point, and it opened up into what they called the Queen's Chamber. You see right here, this is a second pyramid, and now it's the entrance to that one. The very beginning, it's tall like that. You see how narrow the passageway is. People are have to scoot past each other. But it got smaller as you went on. That's basically what was happening. And here I am just soaking it up, being in Egypt, being on a pyramid, thousands and thousands of years old pyramid. And it was an amazing experience, amazing feeling. I enjoyed the energy of it. And it's a blessing that I was able to go get all these pictures taken. I got so many ideas of posters I'm gonna have. That's gonna be a poster. Yep. Bust my head, shit. And that lets you know how narrow it is. And I wasn't expecting it to be that narrow. It got small on me real quick. So yeah, I busted my head. It's very small. No hieroglyphics in these pyramids. I'm inside of them.
The king, the pharaoh, la mumia Egyptian Museum in Cairo.
Which king?
King, son of the king of yours.
Yeah, so when I got through that passageway where I hit my head, this is what it led to. Another chamber. This is in a second pyramid that I was in. And he said king something, but I ain't going for it. That's the sarcophagus. That's the tomb, the casket. So the archaeologists that discovered this tomb, they put their stamp on the wall. I didn't get the whole year, but it's March 2nd, 1925. So they've done that at the other pyramid in different chambers I've seen on video, but I wasn't able to go see live and in action. This was the only thing I had. And this was interesting to me because I know this is the narrow passageway in the pyramid, but you know, the handles and the wooden planks for steps, those weren't there in the beginning, obviously. So, you know, it leads me to believe that this wasn't made for regular bodies to be going back and forth. Seemed like more like a wind tunnel, or lights may have gone through it or something, but you know, but at the same time, it leads to chambers that are 25-foot high ceilings and 20 by 20 rooms, you know, after you leave these narrow passageways. So much mystery, it's a trip. Here's outside of the pyramid, and tourists are crazy. A lot of Asians and Eastern Europeans. Now, on this doggone camel ride, it's gonna chap you up. You're sitting on a carpet, the camel walking on dirt and rocks, and it's a rough ride. I went on a 30-40 minute excursion around the pyramids. I can say I experienced it, and I also can say I will never experience it again. I'll do some four-wheelers next time, definitely. But yeah, here I am on the camels, and the camel guy named the camels Michael Jackson and Prince. You know, I don't know, he just trying to relate to Americans, or if he thought of that on the fly, trying to be slick, because everybody's trying to hustle. So after a while, I got tired of taking these corny ass pictures that everybody take. Once he got me to pretend like I was holding up a boulder, and I seen him with that little rock, come over there grab the little rock. I'm like, what's he doing? He grabs the little rock, tells me to hold my hands up, and I was like, all right, this is the last one. Let's leave it alone. And there it is right there. So kind of corny, but it's Egypt. So at any rate, riding that camel, that's me trying to, you know, clear my pain I was having on my ass because of that damn camel. But at any rate, it was an experience. Here I am with all 6 pyramids in the background, and beginning of civilization started right here, standing on the same sands that Moses stood on and Noah stood on, and all the names in the history. So I feel like it was a pretty cool place to be for my 50th, you know. And the turban was given to me just for the picture. I ended up buying one, but not that one. But it was still cool. It was me and Michael Jackson chilling. You know, we didn't really bond because I think he got the vibe that I didn't really want to be on him anymore. So we weren't really bonded, but it was cool for the moment. For the ride, it served its purpose. But yeah, never again. 4-wheelers like a mug. 4-wheelers. I'll not be riding a camel. I like that picture. That's a good picture too. They used to ride with those long machete blade swords and go to war on the back of those camels. That's crazy. Byron's in Egypt. Uncle Bo is in Egypt. That's gonna be a poster. I like the way the sun is reflecting at the tip. That's gonna be a poster. It's clean. That's gonna be a poster. The Great Sphinx in the background. So the story goes that the Sphinx is there to protect the pyramids. Underneath the Sphinx is a spaceship belonging to Thoth, the Egyptian god Thoth, who was the inventor of writing, chemistry, and alchemy. And it's some money that I had to exchange so I could spend. And quick disclaimer, so 5 times a day, because this is a Muslim country, the PA system blasts the prayer. They blast the Adhan, which is the call to prayer, and then an actual prayer follow up. Some people stop what they're doing, but most people continue on, at least in this part of Cairo where I was at. But that's the background noise that you're gonna hear right now. Actually, I take that back. It just ended when I walked out there, but I got another clip with it playing. So this is just the noise of the city right outside the hotel.
Not yet, thank you.
All right, here I am, and I'm just riding on the way to the museums, actually. So we're leaving old Cairo, going to new Cairo, and you see all the buildings in the background, dilapidated and ran down, but people are living in those buildings. You see air conditioners in the windows and the whole nine, so they're surviving out there big time. And this is the Nile River. I didn't have the opportunity to sit down and maybe put my foot in the Nile or anything like that, but I crossed it a few times, and it's a pretty big river, bigger than I expected, wider. And they said it used to run all the way up to the pyramids, so I don't know how I was able to do that, but it must have been huge if it was able to do that back in the day. But yep, that's the Nile. Here I am at the Egyptian Museum, and some beautiful statues in here. King Ramses and some different pharaohs, and this brother right here with the dreadlocks, and all sorts of symbolism. Not sure what that's about, but this one's interesting to me because this is the big-headed king. Comes from the I think it said Armand dynasty. It'll tell me in a minute, but so I have a different theory. They talk about, okay, this is royalty right here, and now they're saying that this is a servant with the elongated head. So I don't think it's the servant. I think that that's a young royalty, and the other one is an older royalty. That's how I look at the picture. The description is as follows. It says, one of 6 stelae found in the tomb of the royal scribe Any, A-N-Y. This shows the tomb owner riding in a chariot accompanied by a servant. It is interesting to note that the servant, like the Amana royal family, has an elongated head. So they're calling the egghead king a servant. But how do you go from being a servant and being in a royal family and you're the same people? Like, he obviously comes from the tribe of elongated heads, so to speak. So how are you gonna be a servant and your family is royalty? You know, that doesn't make sense. So the description doesn't fit for me. Looks like a young prince and then an older king, something like that. But it was so many different types of artifacts. Here's the bull. The bull is significant in Egyptian history and the storylines that's going on. The tombs were elaborate with all sorts of designs, and the details on the faces were awesome. So I mean, nothing I can say but awesome. King Ramsey, his wife, this brother right here, who's blacker than black. Some more dreadlocks. Some braid. This is a wig. So that's what tripped me out. This is a wig, Afro wig. And this brother right here is basically a captive or a prisoner. I wouldn't say slave because he's bound together by his biceps and his wrists. And it looks like he got a hood on his head. So that's like the march to death, something like that. So I would call him a prisoner, not a slave. And here's the bull again. And like I said, it's significant in Egyptian history. Here's King Ramses in the form of the Sphinx. They got the whole family on there. So you see how all that horn blowing was going on. Basically, there's no lights, no stop signs all through Egypt. They have these traffic cops out there, but one dude was on his phone at a big intersection, and I believe they were honking their horn at this dude to get him to stop traffic, because that's what they do. They just drive through and they blow their horn and let you know they're coming through. That's what the horn is for. The horn is constantly being blown all day long. You can just listen. Oh, and then also real quick, this dude in a little white Yugo or something just cut in front of us and did a right turn real quick. He just pulled up and said, "Hey man, I'm finna cut in front of you." I mean, I know that's what he said because that was his demeanor, his language, but that demeanor was like, "Hey, I'm finna go in front of you, so watch this."
هتلاقي يافطة، تعالى ورايا. هتلاقي يافطة مكتوب عليها المانيال. قصدك مش هتعمل كده. بتقول ايه؟ يبقى في ده هيجري. Oh yeah, and if you didn't catch the whole family that was on that motorcycle, you're gonna see him again. Now that's the daughter, the father, the mother, and the baby. And they got an appointment to make. So
I don't want to hear nobody talking about they can't make it, or I ain't got no ride, or all we got is a bike. Man, better make it happen. Now this is us pulling into old Cairo, Coptic Cairo, where the Coptic church is. This is the first Christian church in Egypt. The Christians colonized Egypt first, and then the Muslims came in and took it from the Christians. And now it's a Muslim country, but the first Christian church is established in Coptic Cairo. And also the first mosque in Cairo is right across the street. And also parts of the pyramid were used to build both the church and the mosque. That's why the pyramids aren't smooth on the side anymore. A lot of that material was taken off the pyramids and used to build the church and the mosque. This is considered a crucifix with the sun in Christian theology, but in Egyptian or Egyptology, this picture would be the Ankh. And being that this church is in the middle of Cairo, old Cairo, I expect that it has some type of relationship. The funny thing is, you couldn't find anything like this in the Egyptian museum, in a big Egyptian museum, excuse me. But this is all over the Coptic church in Cairo, which is the oldest church in Egypt. It's all different forms of the Ankh. So this is basically looks like a pillars everywhere where people speak. I can't remember what you call that. I like this crown right here. It reminds me of King Selassie's crown in Ethiopia. It's very similar, super similar. And this is the Gospels. Basically, it says the 4 Gospels in Arabic with gilt titles. The Gospel of St. Matthew begins with 2 pages ornamented with gilt geometrical patterns and Cufic script. Ornamented. I guess that's how you say that. But you see the picture. So yeah. This right here is a picture of, let's see here, Saint Zacharias, a priest, was the father of Saint John the Baptist and the husband of Saint Elizabeth. He was murdered in the temple by order of King Herod, 18th century Greek style. So that's that right there. Got his beard pulled up and a knife right next to his throat, ready to put in some work. So that's in the Coptic Museum. This right here is a picture of a young Jesus. I remember seeing this one. So this one basically is saying the young Christ sitting on a throne in a temple is surrounded by Jewish teachers who are listening to him preaching. The gestures of their hands express approval and amazement. So that's young Jesus with the little afro. They go older Jesus, the older black Jesus. It's another picture of black Jesus. This picture was familiar to me because basically it's on what they call the Mandylion, or the holy visage, considered to be the image of Christ not made by human hands, quote unquote. Some emperors of the 14th and 15th centuries used to have such icons with them when they were going to war. Second half of 19th century, South Russia. This is the same picture that Putin held up, and he said he was gonna either give it a gift to China or something like that, but I know it was in Russians' possession. I guess that's who discovered the picture or something like that, I don't know, but it's there in Egypt in the Coptic church. And this is basically a chariot that the women would travel in when they had a caravan. Here we are on the streets again. This is actually the freeway. So here I go, venturing outside the hotel. Got my new shirt. There it is. So making sure it fit right, making sure I fit in. And maybe they quit harassing me by asking me to buy something. So yeah, that's what it sounds like when they're doing their prayer. That happens 5 times a day. If you're watching a TV program, the TV program breaks away and the prayer comes on TV as well. So that was pretty interesting. That was what you heard. I gotta apologize in advance for the camera angles. I wasn't trying to walk down the street holding up the phone like I'm recording everybody, so I was trying to be discreet. So a lot of the photo frame is on the ground, so I apologize for that. I do recognize my flaw at times and raise the phone up, but for the most part, bear with me, and I apologize in advance, but still some good fun. This is the same street my hotel is on, so all I did was walk out the hotel door and make a left. And this is the community I'm walking through. I'm headed towards the pyramid. the most part, that was a pretty smooth walk. Now I'm coming in towards the pyramid. You see the pyramid in the background. You see this older man start standing up because he see me coming. And so he tries to, pull me into his shop and do his hustle. And this is basically what you deal with when you go into Egypt. Everybody trying to sell you something. And I'm not mad at them. They got to make a living, But by the third day, you recognize the hustles. And I wasn't trying to be an asshole. The asshole slipped out a little bit every now and then in the conversation. But other than that wasn't my intentions. I tried to be as cordial as possible and decline his offers. But, you got to be persistent. But that's how the exchange went.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, where you from?
LA.
American?
Yeah.
I've been to California.
Yeah, LA.
LA.
Yeah, San Bernardino, LA, Pomona, Montclair.
Yes.
Southern California.
Southern California. I've been to Los Angeles.
Yeah, good.
I've been 5 times or 6 times.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you have a
Okay.
big business there.
Okay.
Come on.
Now, he's about to show me this picture of Muhammad Ali and this other dude squared off for a photo op. By this time, I've seen this picture 3 times. And it's been introduced to me by the store owner as Muhammad Ali with their grandfather, Muhammad Ali with their cousin, and I think this guy says it's his brother. So immediately I ask him who the guy is before he even starts telling me. That's the asshole of me that was slipping out, so sorry. But anyway, this is how this went.
Who's that? That's you?
Brother.
That's your brother?
Brother. From
God,
long
that is
time
your
ago.
Got you. That's
Lot
nice.
of journal. Germany. And this is Austria. You know Austria?
Austria, yeah.
Yes,
Germany?
Germany.
Yeah.
Very friendly.
Cool.
A lot of black Americans, good friend.
I see. Maybe I'll come back, you get my picture on the wall.
Oh, you're a good man.
Yes,
You
sir.
are.
Thank you.
You are.
Thank
From
you.
Egypt to this Calaba?
Yeah, I just got this today. You like it?
Yeah, well, lovely.
Thank you.
How much?
At this point, I'm edging towards the door, trying to gesture to him that I'm trying to leave. And he's getting it, but he's persistent.
I don't know.
20?
Yeah, around 20, 25.
20.
Yeah, I got a couple of them.
Couple?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A few.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does he mix it with oil, essence?
Yeah, I got oil too.
Yeah.
I got the, what is the flower oil?
Lotus flower?
Lotus flower. Yep.
You try papyrus flower?
I got papyrus flower and lotus flower.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the most popular fragrances. Everybody try to sell me those 2 fragrances.
I show you. What you use it to an American perfume?
I don't. I use cologne.
Which?
Yeah, that was me being an asshole. I'm sorry. That was rude.
Like, everybody related to Muhammad Ali out here.
Facts.
Welcome. Hello.
See, I had to ignore that dude and keep it moving. It's a picture of my vaccination and card for proof of vaccination, just in case. Now this is me and Koki. Koki's my driver on our way to the boat. We're gonna do some snorkeling and hanging out, diving in the water and whatnot in the Red Sea. I said I wanted to dive in the Red Sea and eat some fresh seafood from the Red Sea. It was about a 2-hour ride outside of Old Cairo. and to Port Sokna, and that's where we went. So this is the venture for that. Oh yeah, and this happened a few times on the way where the road is paved real smooth and then all of a sudden it's just broken up, like undone for a minute, and then it goes smooth again.
Engine number 9 on the New York Transit line. If my train goes off the track, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Let's go, let's go.
Yeah, my driver Koki is a young 30-year-old, so he was hip and had old school hip hop mixes, so he was just being cool the whole ride with the music. That is the Red Sea. These are the resorts. They got new resorts coming up and some condominiums. Looks like some brand new stuff going on out there in Port Sokna. Like I said, this is like 2 hours outside of the Cairo, old Cairo. And there's the boat. Spent a little money to do this, but it was awesome. It was worth it. Snorkel time. This was snorkeling. That's right. I wasn't able to get any pictures. To be honest with you, it wasn't that many different types of tropical fish. I only seen 3 different versions, and they were fishing, so we were catching them and throwing them back. So it was cool. So I snorkeled for a little bit, but I just didn't get any pictures under the water or anything like that. So, but you're not missing nothing. Here, me and Koki, after diving in the water a few times, just chilling, taking it all in, kicking back. That was a good dude. We had a good time. That's me pointing to Egypt. I can see the landmass across the water. That's me at age 50. That's April 26, 2023. And here I am just soaking it all in, 50 years old in Egypt, in the Red Sea, you know, so there's Port Sokna, some condos. That's the resort. It's a beautiful place. And that is how the day was
ready?
going. Lovely. Great time. The water was cold, but after a while it warmed up. All right, so the captain dove down and grabbed this clam. Two things. He grabbed that starfish thing you see right there and that clam shell and cracked that open. And I ate the mussel that was in there, and fresh, energized. You felt good eating it. And I was thinking to myself as I was eating it, I said, if I know how to dive and grab these, I could survive off these all day, because it was delicious. No hot sauce or no nothing on there. It was just straight out the ocean.
حاجة حية. لسه بتحرك. أنا عشان كده بس.
واو.
خليك ولا بشاي. باينة العيال دي ولا ايه؟ لا دي استاكوزا صغيرة.
Now, I didn't eat the part that was moving. I ate the white mussel that you see on the inside of the shell there. That was delicious. The animal that was in there, we gave them to the fish, basically.
ده استاكوزا صغيرة عاملة ازاي؟
طلع لؤلؤة بقى من جوه. طلع لؤلؤة من جوه. لؤلؤ جوه.
هو ده اللي بيتاكل ني كده؟ يعني بقى اللي بيتاكل
سلطة برجر اهو.
انت بتتفرج على كرتون؟
يا الله سبحان الله.
يعني الكبيرة دي؟ فين اللقمة؟
انت قص.
Look like a little lobster or something.
فص ده رزق. خد بالك ده في ناس بتجمعها تحصر فيه كده.
Delicious. Mint tea or a hibiscus tea with mint in it. Just leave the mint in there about 15-20 seconds. Wonderful. Lay you back. So all they do is drink tea and smoke cigarettes in Egypt, in Cairo. There's Port Sokhna, people out there chilling. Here I am looking like the only tourist because I'm the only one with an Egyptian t-shirt on. So this is me. I think we took a few of these photos. I'm just soaking it in and enjoying it because this was like the last thing that I ended up doing there. So I've been inside the pyramids, dove in the Red Sea, went to the museums, went to the church museum, ventured through the city, kicked it with the people, and enjoyed myself for my 50th, you know. That's basically what went down. And this the hotel. I took it on the last night, so sorry I didn't make the bed or nothing, but it was a clean, decent hotel. You can see the pyramids right from my window. There you go. That was a night shot. So it was convenient. And that's me when I landed back in London. I like this shot because this is above London. Clean sky, white clouds. And as soon as you get underneath the clouds, it's gloomy and rainy. So yeah, that's basically it. That's the Uncle Bo's trip to Egypt for his 50th, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the narration, and stay tuned to what's coming next. Japan, Maya pyramids, Mayan ruins. Who knows where Uncle Bo is gonna go next? So stay tuned, because it's the real deal.